Welcome to Yantra Vidya, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. Divyank Rectangle, as revealed by my inner soul. My mission, the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything is fully known. My greatest discovery is Divyank, the divine design of nature with which the perfect objects are designed and created. Let's little recap of what we have been talking in the last few things with respect to divine mathematics. Basic divine design of nature which emerges is called Fibonacci sequence, well known, we have discussed quite a lot, and the number is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, 144. And this sequence has been well accepted and found to be very useful in plant kingdom, and different examples have been given. What is the real essence of that is between 10th and 11th sequence, you have a golden ratio of 1.618 emerging, and that has been accepted as one of the values for golden ratio or divine proportion. Next we go is the golden ratio. Mathematician wanted to find exact value of golden ratio, not very approximate value of 1.618. So other two formulas are 1a plus b divided by v are those lines which I have already spoken, long line by short line and both sides were long line giving it to 1 point was okay, but they wanted something much more. So they've developed a new formula of 1 plus square root of 5 divided by 2. As a result, they got the value as 1.6180339887498995. And this infinite number, new mathematicians trying to add more and more. Unfortunately, golden ratio, which was called also divine proportion, should have a precise, concise value, but these two values are not as precise, concise as I would personally like it to be, because the universe may be infinite, but every perfect object of the universe is limited in itself. Though there should be limited number of digits, that's the question which I raised in earlier with respect to Divyank ratio. And with respect to Divyank of 1.6188034, Divyank ratio. The perfect ratio was 38.1966% and 61.8034%. And beauty of this I've already spoken, ki both put together become 100, and that particular approximation of 100 is not seen in any other ratio. Square root of 6180 is also 100 times the value of the first one, is also something very unique to this particular Divyank ratio. Now, one thing is very clear, the shape of Divyank rectangle, let's say, is based on sequence, golden ratio, Divyank ratio. Now from there, I have a question. Using this art form of graphic representation, which nature uses it in producing their own nature's objects, can it be used to find the exact value of Divyank rectangle itself? The question was put to my own voice of silence, my soul, whom I do call is my guru. Whatever I'm doing is only as an instrument of that particular thing. It's a dialogue between me and my soul to bring forth in a language which people can understand. So let's see what happened, what evolved in the process of my questions and my guidance by my soul. The making of Divyank rectangle was the first question. So voice of silence is you draw a square of 100 into 100 unit to start with. As you can rightly see on top, square, perfect square of 100 into 10. That is step 1. Now, step, divide that square into two equal rectangles. One 50 by 100, another 50 by 100 is a two rectangle. So this was the second step which voice of silence says you should do, draw that and leave it at that. Then move on to the third step. He calls it Divyank triangle. Now draw a line joining the right upper angle of the square with the middle bottom square as shown in the picture. Now you have created a triangle, right angle triangle, which I would call a Divyank triangle in the process at the right bottom. And this triangle is going to be used to find perfect value of Divyank rectangle itself. Now right at the top you can see ancient Indian Vedic mathematics or divine mathematics. They have the tricone structure, represent the same thing, used to find different lengths and breadths of different things, and it's been used. But I'm happy at the same time, same concept is well known by the Western mathematicians and Indian mathematicians, the mathematicians around the world, as Pythagorean theorem. Now let's use it as a Pythagorean theorem, or let me say, let's go back to the Indian arithmetic, simple mathematics, and calculate what could be the value of the third line. One we know is 50. So 50 into 50 square is 2500. Another is 100 into 100 is 10,000. You add these both, 2500 plus 10,000 is equal to 12,500. I'm sure these three steps, 50 into 50 into 2500, 100 into 100 into 10,000, then 2500 plus 10,000 equal to 12,500 is not at all difficult for anybody to imagine. Using Pythagorean theory and in mathematics, you calculate the square root of 12,500. Very interesting. You have a perfect value of 111.8034. There's nothing beyond that. It was quite surprising to me that I could calculate that from so much. Now, using that number as prompted by my voice of silence, we went to the next step of creating Divyank rectangle. Step 4. Middle of the square, create another semicircle of this particular line of 111.8034 and make it complete. Now you can see there is a making of a Divyank rectangle. Now go to the next step. By completing the Divyank rectangle of 100 into 161.8034, you have a perfect rectangle. And from there you can easily say that golden ratio could have been 1.618034. I think this is very simple, and I am quite surprised why this simple process was not used to calculate this particular value. This could have been done by many other mathematician artists before, but I do not see any record somewhere in any other form in the books or whatever I've read. I have not seen this particular number, so I'm quite surprised. But anyway, maybe this also says, gives an idea the time has come for revival the ancient Indian arithmetic, rather than man-made mathematical formulas which we are using internationally today. I cannot call it West because it has been added by almost every community of every race throughout the world. So today science does not confine to America, Europe, or India or China. I think it's a global science and global mathematics. Its contribution is everybody. So that mathematics is highly complicated thing. With this result, many of the people find it very difficult to understand and apply that. I'm trying to make it simple so that even a layman can easily understand how divine mathematics emerges. And that is a revival of that. So now we have made a rectangle of this. Now, I have also been saying that there are 10 stages of development. So let me see whether we do see 10 stages of development or involution in the process. So we'll start with involution inverse first. So let's take the next one. There are 10 plus stages of Divyank rectangle. Now we are going to go to inverse devolution or involution. You have a square of 100 and then put a semicircle, as you can very clearly see. This picture is quite familiar because we have seen this in the same Divyank rectangle or golden rectangle also. from 100 into 100 squares, now you add another square of 61.8034 and you make another semicircle. The picture is clear. Third step of 38.1966, you are closing in. You go to the number could be 23.6068 and you draw a semicircle. I think you are coming closer into the picture which shown about golden ratio itself, a golden rectangle, a Divyank rectangle. Now, have you noticed something with which I am trying to produce the next number? 100 divided by 61.8034 is 61. 61.8034 divided by multiplied by 61.80 and divided by 100 percentage is 38.1966. Then further division by the same is 23. Then fifth it is 14.598. Sixth level it goes to 9.0170 units. And I'm sure up to this there is no complication. You can see I'm adding one square, one semicircle as we are proceeding, so that audio visual image is very clear, because you are not only hearing my voice, you're not only seeing these words, but you are seeing in the graphic presentation also the same thing. So it's getting reinforced in your temporary brain, in your visual cortex, as well as the rest of the brain. It's getting restored. So as a result, remembering it much better, recollecting will be much better. Number in involution would be 5.5728, and same, you can see the square, then semicircle drawn is 3.4442 units, and again same semicircle you can see right in the picture. Ninth step also you can see quite not very clear, because it's becoming smaller and smaller. Unless until I enlarge this picture to a huge 70 mm screen, you may not be able to see the details of this particular number, but it is there. Then go to the nth, 1.3156 units. Now we are literally come to close to 1. In involution, from 100 to 1 only possible. More than that, less than 1 should not be considered as the perfect division. So let's see what happens after 10. You get a number of 0.8130. It's less than 1. So what does it mean? It means there are only 10 full stages of involution in the formation of Divyank rectangle or Divyank ratio. Less than 1 is not. So this the 11th step could be called the last stage of maturation. So conclusion is only 10 reducing stages of involution as possible. More than that is the last stage could be of maturation, when things have to conclude. At this particular juncture, let me take it back to Divyank. Divyank formula is 22 by 21, which is the first stage of creation. Then 10, power of 10. There are 10 stages of development. Then 0.34419, which you have seen in the formula, is this last stage of maturation which I am talking about. So, first stage of creation, 10 stage of development, and maturation. With the process, the entire beautiful structure of all the perfect objects would take the form. And that form, you can call it Divyank rectangle, or you can golden ratio, you call Divyank ratio, whatever it is, called by anything. But at the stage, you will have 1 into 1.618034. If this is the ratio maintained, the structure is maintained, that particular object would be perfect. Anything other than that is not as perfect as divine designs. And we are looking for perfect anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, and psychology, so that we can be perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy. The objective of Akhand Vidyashram is to find the impeccable wisdom, knowing which everything perfect is known, so that we can keep focus only on perfection and achieve the perfection. Thereby, we can prevent all the common ailments, curtail aging, maybe reverse aging, and lead a much more healthier, wealthier, wiser, happy, blissful, long life in the service of humanity, in service of everything. And only then we can lay a foundation for world peace or health for everybody. And objective of Yantra Vidya is to rewrite books which are with perfection, which you don't have to unlearn and relearn. And from that angle, I think this particular thing has been explained. This is a model which I would like to use to bring this issue. And then with that, I've been using it for myself, and I find tremendous improvement in myself. And I'm sure all my students are finding it. I'm sure everybody else would find it useful to lead a perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise, and happy life. And thereby, we can expect a uniform syllabus for the world, perfect knowledge, no confusion of any nature, no wide range values which are produced by different scientists and mathematicians, etc. We should have one nature, perfect nature, and perfect value is Divyank, and this is what I'm trying to prove it, and I'm sure it might take me quite some time. But as the examples I gave, you'll be surprised at how beautiful this particular formula is, which is simple arithmetic formula, not a man-made complicated formula. And this, how it is unfolded from Vedas, Upanishads, and other scriptures, will be revealed as we proceed forward. This particular picture is one of my books' graphic presentation to represent the same thing. Second stage inverse Divyank sequence also is put there. Right now at the bottom I have written there is a hidden divine constant of 61.8034, and I would say that is infinity constant. Nature has used only this particular number to create infinity. From any number to division by this number will never merge, converge, or diverge. If there is an example for infinity in mathematical design which cannot be disapproved, it is 61.8034. We will be making a video at a later date to prove this point. This is the ultimate infinity constant. Anant infinity, never ending infinity. So come back, everything has to come to an end. So we conclude here with this. This is what it is. So thank you very much for kind listening and encouraging. And I think things are really moving forward very well. I am quite happy that I am able to give my experience and conviction in a very simple language. And I find most of people are very happy with that. So thank you very much once again.